Hey, this is Brett from Softwit Media. Today we're going to take a look at how to move a full blog, all the articles in one blog, into the category of another blog. So we're taking a look at a website called Create a Spark of Hope. This was a spin-off website created by a friend of mine named Craig, and we are going to move this site. We're going to convert it into a category of another website that he owns called Second Chance to Live. Second Chance to Live has been around a lot longer. He took some time to create a separate little venture, and he's ready to shut this down, but he doesn't want to give away all those articles. He doesn't want to delete them. He wants to consolidate them back into one site where it's nice and easy to manage. So we're going to walk through the steps of how to move or migrate a website from one WordPress installation into the category of another WordPress installation. Okay, so the first step in moving a WordPress website into the category of a second WordPress website is we need to have a new category. So we're in the first website, which is called Create a Spark of Hope, and we're looking at the list of categories. We got there by going to posts and then categories. We're going to create a new category to hold all of the content from this first blog, and we're going to then move that over to the second blog. So the idea is that we're going to create a category that matches the name of this website, Create a Spark of Hope. So this will make a little bit more sense in just a second, because this category will eventually live on a second website that is not called Create a Spark of Hope. So we're going to have Create a Spark of Hope as the category name. Write the slug manually in this case. We're not going to have any parent categories for this category that we create, and we're simply going to add that new category as a starting point. And we see it up there, it's got 0 posts. Now what we want to do is select all of the other categories, not the one we just created. We'll deselect that. So we're going to choose all these others, and we want to move those into the this new category that we've created. We want to make Create a Spark of Hope actually the parent category, and I don't have the tools in here to move, so I'm going to have to edit these individually, and I believe with categories we have to do a full edit. So I'm going to do these one at a time. I'll show you the first one, and then I'll do the other ones offline. So I'm going to come into this first category, and simply going to move that into the make it a child of the new category we just created, Create a Spark of Hope. Scroll down to the bottom, hit update, and when I go back to my categories list, we can now see that achieving success is a child category of this. I'm going to pause the video and do all of the others manually as well, and then show you where we are from there. Okay, so we created the new category called Create a Spark of Hope. It matches the name of the website, Create a Spark of Hope. That's because this category is going to become a portion of another website elsewhere. Eventually, we're not going to have duplicate content. We're going to get rid of this website. And we've gone through and we've made all of the original categories on this existing website, the first website, children of the parent category, the new parent category that we created called Create a Spark of Hope. So they are all going to be captured within there. And now we're ready for our next step, which is to export the content using the WordPress import-export tool. So we're going to come down to Tools in the WordPress admin menu, and we're going to go to Export. Sometimes you'll have this installed automatically. Sometimes this will prompt you to install a quick plugin. In this case, we want to export everything. We have a couple different things on this website, and we're going to export all the content. So I'm going to download the export file, and all those blog posts are going to be contained within that category that we just created. I'm also going to download all the posts separately and have 2 export files just in case I want to work with the posts alone. And in this case as well, I want to take a look at the menus on this website, because menu items will export with all of the content. I want to make sure I understand the menu structure so that I don't import a bunch of menu items from the first website into the second. We want to keep the menu structure that we have on the existing second website. So I want to familiarize myself with this menu system. Okay, and that's it for this step. In the next step, we're going to start importing this content into the destination, the second website. Okay, so now we are on the second website. It is called Second Chance to Live. And on this website, we're going to import just the post that we exported in the second export from the first website, which was called Create a Spark of Hope. So we're going to come into the WordPress admin of this second website, and we're going to go to the import section. And on the first website, the plugin was already installed. On this one, I think it is installed as well. We'll find out in just a second. We want to select WordPress. We're importing from a WordPress website into a WordPress website. We want to choose our file, which is going to be in this case, it's going to be in my downloads folder. And grabbing the second one, it's about 523 kilobytes. I'm going to upload that file and import it into the website. And just to keep things organized, I'm going to import the author name of Create a Spark of Hope, just in case. It allows us one additional way to filter on some of the content that might have that author's name. So we're not going to assign it. In another case, we have a different author, Craig, and we're going to leave that separate as well. We do want to download and import the file attachments, all the images that are associated with each of those posts. So we're going to hit submit. Let this run. There's 30, 40, or 50 or so posts. We'll find out in a second. We'll double check our numbers. Okay, so it's going to attribute those to the current user, and we're going to take a look at our posts. Now we're going to come up here to posts. We're going to go to categories. Look at our category list. Now, there are a lot of categories in this particular post, and they've been SEO'd to the max. So we're going to slim the looks of this down a little bit, just so that we can see things a little easier. Apply and close the screen options. I'm just making this a little easier to sort. Now, in this case, our new categories do not maintain their subcategory or their parent level category items. Don't know why that is. The import didn't hold the structure, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to need to go through and assign each of those. Fortunately, we still have our previous site to copy off of. So I'm going to go back to my categories on the first site where we created our subcategories. I'm going to look for each of those names, and I'm going to manually move those back into the subcategory that they're supposed to be in. So the first one was achieving success, and just like we did it on the first site, we're going to edit that, move it in. I was hoping to keep this easy, but for some reason the import didn't stick, and that's just the way it is. It's always good to double check your work and make sure that you've got what you need. Down, hit the update. So I'm going to repeat that again for those 6 or 7 different blog categories and come back to you in a minute. Okay, I just wanted to point something out. I'm looking at the category for building self-esteem, and this is on the site 1. This is a list of the articles. There's 6 or 7 of them. They all have the author of Craig J. Phillips. On the new site, when we imported that particular category in, there was an existing category that was exactly the same, and we don't necessarily want those articles to be in that new category or that old category in the second site. And there are 2 different authors now, which is good. We can see which articles belong to site 1 versus site 2, and we can make some changes. So I'm going to file these away into the new parent category that we created, and we can move those later somewhere else as we need to, or we can split them up even. Actually, that might be a better way to do it. I'm going to add them to 2 categories, so they'll be in building self-esteem, the duplicate category, and they'll also be listed under the parent of Create a Spark of Hope, just so that we can find them there as well. We'll work on each of those offline from here. Okay, so we've moved all the posts from the original website, Creative Spark of Hope, into the new website, Second Chance to Live. And we now can take a look at this parent category. We can view it to make sure all the content is there. And here's our list of blogs. This particular site is set up to show 5 articles at a time from this particular category. We can also go into each of the subcategories, the children categories of Creative Spark of Hope if we like as well. And we can look at those. This site happens to be built with a magazine styled theme. And if we wanted to, we could also show all of the articles from Creative Spark of Hope in some lower section on the site, pulling them in to a lot of the content that is already here. So this is all set. Now, one thing we have not yet done, this is for future effort, we haven't gone through our pages. Some of these pages are more administrative, like the contact page, and there are some checkout pages for easy digital downloads. We already have that stuff on the new site, so we won't need some of those pages copied over from one site to the next. There will be a handful of pages that we will need, but that's something that the owner of the site is going to have to go through page by page to make a determination about that. So this concludes this quick tutorial on how to migrate a website into a category on another WordPress installation. If you have any questions, or if you would like help migrating anything into WordPress from WordPress or any other sources, please feel free to let us know. We'd be glad to work for you. Thank you much.